So we look at the differences between people, humans, and fish and birds and animals and realize what Paul said is absolutely true. There is a difference between the flesh of animals, birds, fish, and the flesh of humans. So the distinction that he's drawing in the physical world, he continues that when he says, okay, now look up, look around. There are also heavenly bodies and earthly bodies, but the glory of the heavenly is one, and the glory of the earthly is another. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars, for star differs from star in glory. And he's saying, what you see in creation, the differences between humans, fish, birds, and animals, even plants. He talked about the grain, the bare seed that you'd plant. The differences are obvious. And when we look at it, this creation God has designed with all these different kinds of glory. You know, the sun has its glory and the moon has its glory, and they're appropriate by God's design. Human beings have one kind of glory. Animals have another. I just watched a little video clip of a grizzly bear flipping over a huge rock like it was a piece of paper. And the strength of that animal was astonishing. And we see the beauty of a peacock or the power of a bear. We see the fine, intricate beauty of some of the flowers that grow even in the wild. We passed by a field the other day heading back to our house, and it had Queen Anne's lace, just this very delicate, beautifully designed flower in some people's eyes. In other people's eyes, it's a weed. I picked up a little cottonwood piece of cotton as it floated down, and in that was a tiny, tiny seed. And I was amazed at looking at this giant cottonwood tree whose trunk is this big around, and it grew from that tiny, tiny seed. And what Paul is doing here in his letter to the Corinthian church is illustrating the spiritual truth that all these physical differences illustrate the spiritual truth that our resurrected body will be so much grander than what we experience with this body. And he's using all these aspects of God's creation to illustrate this truth. And the glory that we have here in the physical is different than the glory that we'll have after our bodily resurrection. And so as we move from day to day, morning to evening, we hang on to this truth that Jesus not only is a promise maker, but he has demonstrated his ability to keep his promise to raise us from the dead. God said the same power in the Spirit that brought Jesus out of the grave is the Spirit who lives in you and brings you to spiritual, everlasting life today. We don't have to wait for someday to experience this kind of glory of Christ's presence with us. So live today in a way that demonstrates to those around you, this world is not my home. I'm just passing through, and there is something far, far grander, more glorious when we see Jesus face to face. God bless you as you move through today. He loves you, and we love you too.